அந்த ஜியோகிராஃபி லாஸ்ட் டைமே பொட்டி இருந்தது ஆர்யா. நல்லா பண்ணு.
Divine guidance of Brahma Shri Pitama Patri Ji, Mahavatar Baba Ji, Ramta Master, and let's send our pranams to all the masters who are ensuring that this Divine Design Swadhyay session is successful. Let's connect to their divine energies and then start the meditation. Let's go through the relaxation process first. Please close your eyes. Sit in a comfortable position. Clasp your hands, cross your legs. Close your eyes. At the out breath, relax the body as much as possible. Practice relaxation offline as well. The more you practice relaxation, the quicker you'll get into a relaxed state. Let the head region be relaxed. Forehead is relaxed. Neck is relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed. Back region is completely relaxed. Chest and stomach region is relaxed. Hips are relaxed. Thighs are relaxed. Calf muscles are relaxed. Feet and sole relaxed. From top to bottom, my whole body is completely relaxed and relaxed and relaxed. My head region is completely relaxed. My hands are relaxed. You can feel the heaviness of your body as it starts to relax. Throat is relaxed. Neck region is relaxed. Shoulder is relaxed. Back is completely relaxed. Chest is relaxed. Abdominal region is completely relaxed. Hips are relaxed. Thighs, calf muscles, feet, sole are completely relaxed and relaxed and relaxed. The whole body is fully and fully relaxed. Continue the relaxation process and then move to Anapanasati meditation to just observe your breath. Just keep your awareness near your nostrils and just watch the breathing in and the breathing out. When you're watching it, you won't have any thoughts. Once you lose focus, you get distracted with thoughts. Come back to watch your breath. If there are vibrations in other parts of your body, you can focus on those vibrations. If there is a pain in your body, just watch the pain. Whatever movements, whatever is happening in your body, just watch it. Hello, Masters. At the count of 5, please keep your palms on your eyes and slowly open with a beautiful smile. Bindu, shall I answer your question maybe in the end? You had these questions about people, collective people and millions of people or something, right? I think you said, can you explain the difference between human and the human collective and millions of humans? Human is a human being body, okay? Collective human beings means group of human beings. Millions of humans are also collective only. It's like also a collective. Did you have anything else? Yeah. Did you have doubts about this only?
Yeah, I had doubts, but the explanation what you give doesn't suit here.
Okay, what was it?
See, it says, okay, let me see where where it was. I will ask in the end. I will just see which sentence.
Yeah, I think it will help when you show me the context.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, sure. Fine, friends. Welcome to the 21st day of Divine Design. So far, we had understood that the Earth went down to 3D, and then they decided to wipe out everything and start from scratch. So they were giving an option for each and every one, especially the 5D humans knew what was happening because they were aware, they were in that level of consciousness, right? So they gave an option to them so that they could choose, right? We saw all these options. Now, how did it play out for the 4D humans? We will see today. The 4D's human experience. See, this 4D human experience means 4D human means they have a higher definition consciousness, sorry, higher dimensional consciousness behind them. Okay, which means if they die, rather if the body dies, only the HTC will move out, the body will still remain on Earth and will get wiped out. Okay. The 4D human experience of the clearing was very different from the 5D human. The 4D field does not allow for the same awareness, understanding, and choice as 5D human. So some amount of lack of clarity will be there. So they won't understand, they are not so much connected to their higher self. So that much of awareness about what is happening in the what do you say, in the 12D grade, what kind of information, what is happening, what is like, they won't be accessible, they won't access the news, general news, right? The 4D human would not be aware of any choice they had in the experience. They would all go through the natural events on the earth plane and transition out of the human form during these natural disasters. So basically, they did not know about anything. Like, for example, if any earthquake or tsunami happens and all that, people are literally dying, right? So that is what will happen because they will not be aware of they will not be aware that they have to leave the body and all of these things are coming, which means they'll not die before all these events happen. They'll still be alive when the events happen. The 4D human experience, these fields feeling sadness, fear, sadness, panic, loss, and victimhood. The experience each 4D human had was based on the frequency in their human form. If they were holding higher 4D frequencies, they may have had less fear, less confusion, and loss. If they have felt a sense of knowingness that all was well, knowing that they were all safe to transition from the human form. See, it depends on how much of awareness they had. If the amount of awareness they had was okay, yeah, whatever happens is for good kind of feeling, and if they were vibrating at a higher 4D, then they did not feel the fear and loss from these natural calamities. But if they did not know, if they were in the lower if they were in the lower frequencies, then they would have had fear, confusion, loss, panic state, and then victimhood, which means I am dying. Those kinds of things will actually be there. They may have felt a sense of knowing, they may have felt a sense of knowingness that all was well, knowing that they were safe to transition from the human form. If they were holding lower frequencies, then they may have experienced much more fear, panic, fear, and lack of control. If 4D human was unaware, they could choose to exit the human form before the clearing. Which means if they were lower frequencies, then they were not unaware that they could actually exit. So, which means if they were connected to their HS would have told them, okay, exit. It is now time to leave because Earth is getting cleared. But then if they could not be connected, if they were not open to communication, then anyway, when the body dies, they will anyway leave. But then when the body is dying, they will, since they have body consciousness, they will also choose to experience what the body is experiencing emotionally. The 4D human was not holding high enough frequency to make the same choices as the 5D human, and most experience the physical clearing of the earth plane in their human form. Okay, 4D that happened. And of course, once they move, once the body dies, anyway, they'll get what they'll get to that state where they will understand. But before that, now what happened when the body dies, whatever they experienced as experience will now get locked in their subtle bodies. Okay, that they cannot remove. They'll have to work on it and then only remove. So that is the issue. Now, what about the 4D races? The 4D races, okay, we know about the 4D races. They were not holding any HTCs. They were just created by other HTCs. Okay, so which means they were slightly different. They did not have, they were just meant to be in 4D. So those are the 4D races, and they did not have DNA. They did not have anything like that. They were just like templates or armies. They were like robots. The 4D races held different physical forms, but they were also made up of consciousness, which means for them also the many of the laws that was their universal laws like free will and all still holds good for them also, which means if the 4D races do something, then the GFOL could not really interfere with what they're doing. Okay, like that. So the 4D races held different physical forms from the human body. They held different light codes with different intentions because somebody else created it. GFOL did not create it with the 12D thing with the same intention of Earth's experiment and all that. They did not do. The intention, whoever created it with whatever intention, those bodies are now going to do that only. Therefore, their experience, because these 4D races were created more for having fun, to see how they can control other people and those kinds of things. So that was the intention that those races were created. Because if I think some of the collectives that created 4D races were more of, I don't have to be there in a human form. I'll send my race and then I'll code them with the intention that I want to do. And then they'll go and do whatever this guy wants to do. And it'll be like, I'll be sitting and watching the fun while all of this is playing out there in my absence. So that was sort of why the races were created. Everybody was just trying to do whatever they could create and see how it will all play out. So free will gave that option. They were so they held different light codes with different intentions. Therefore, their experience on the earth plane was very different from the other humans. They were connected to the quantum field and they understood how energy worked. They were aware we were going to be clearing the earth plane. See, because they had a different, because they didn't have this thing about higher self giving them instructions, all that was not there, no? They were connected to the quantum field because that is how they were designed. So they knew exactly what was happening. So they were aware we were going to be clearing the earth plane and they would have the choice to either exit the earth plane or stay and experience the clearing. So they had choice to either stay and experience it or just leave the earth plane. But here you have to understand that 4D races don't have HTC separate and body separate and all that. They are like body, consciousness, everything same. So if they leave, they'll leave with the body. And they'll remain in the 4D dimension, but they'll leave the Earth's experiment. all 4D races chose to exit the Earth plane. They departed differently from the 4D form. They exited with their 4D form and moved into a fourth dimensional field within the 12D grid. So not inside the Earth plane, not inside the Earth's periphery, whatever that Earth's thing was, not there, but they moved outside the Earth, but inside the 4D, because they can't go to 5 and all, they can't go to 3, they can't go to anywhere, they have to remain in the 4D only. So that dimension, they were there, okay? And it wasn't separate from its form. If it chose to exit the Earth plane, all of it, including its form, would depart the planet. See here, they call it it. Okay, it is slightly like robotic. The human form is not the higher dimensional consciousness within the form. When the higher dimensional consciousness exits the Earth plane, it transitions out of the human form and the form stays on the planet. They do not take their form with them. The 4D races shifted out of the Earth's 4D field and moved into 4th-D field within the 12D dimensional grid. For the 4D races to remain in the Earth's experiment, they had to hold themselves in the 12D grid within the 4D field. This 4D field is not the same as 4D field that the Earth was experiencing. Okay, there was some amount of demarcation that they had done. This is separate 4D field of the Earth plane in the 12D grid. Okay, you can just think that they are separate somewhere in the 4th dimension only. But inside that whole big grid they had created, no, that one. Earth was going to be shifting down into 3D, holding a 3D frequency within the 5D around. See, what they did was, I think this comes in the next chapter. When they tried to wipe out this everything, they created a shield around Earth, like a grid only. They created a shield around her, which was vibrating at a 5D level, 5D energetic level, which means people from 5D could enter it through the portals and all of those things. But people in 4D could not enter because they had to vibrate at 5D to enter that. So like that, they had given a protection around 3D so that the 4D races could not enter and other people could not mess up, because it was already in a mess, no? Now they wanted to control the experiment even further. So they created a 5D grid around her. This they'll explain in the next chapter. The 4D races remained within the 4D field and would not be able to physically enter back onto her form for thousands of years. Why? Because now everybody was in 3D. Now, unless the humans themselves get to 4D and all of that, get to 4D, get to 5D, let's say some amount of humans, some population go to 4D, 5D, then until then, it will not be possible for these people to enter, because once they enter that, no, then they'll have to remove that grid, so that what do you say, that physical, that grid will not stop the expansion. So they'll have to remove the grid at that time. So until then, some amount of safety was there. So they tried to manage that until then. So let's see what will happen. I mean, this story is so huge that so much of hangama has happened. They will explain that also. After that, thousands of years, what happened? Those 4D races and all came back again. All that gyan, all that they will have, all that stuff they are going to tell, and how they handled at that time. Okay, all that we will learn. See, ultimately, why we are learning all these things is we should understand that all this has happened while we were participating in this whole thing. And we have a lot of unexplained fear, unexplained sadness, unexplained panic, unexplained, so many confusions and so many things we have, right? Because we have gone through a lot in the last thousands of years. Thousands of years, we have encountered so many things. So, and we don't know what are those so many things that we have encountered, each of us. So, but if we are able to understand many of these kinds of things, what will happen? At least we should be conscious that, okay, it's all done. Everything is done. Now, what is the go forward? Just then you don't have to literally say, oh, why am I in fear? What am I, this, that, whatever duality? Then you'll just choose to move out of duality into oneness. Rather, the focus will change. You'll know exactly that there is so many things that are actually happening now in 3D, and there is so much of tests that is going to come to you. Constantly tests are going to come to you to for you to rather for every human being is basically being checked to see, are you ready to go to 5D? Are you ready to go to 5D? Because of course going to 5D is again few hundred years, but are you ready to go there? If you're not ready to go there, then there is a different plan that is actually in order. So you'll be constantly tested. Are you going to come back to surrender? Are you going to come back to acceptance? Are you going to choose to be in fear? Are you going to choose to be in panic? So you will have to be in awareness as much as possible. At least after you were, let's say you were not in awareness or something like that. After the fact, after that situation passed, at least practice so that next situation you can be aware. So try as much as possible to practice oneness, to practice acceptance, practice surrender as much as possible, because it's very, very important. And we'll all be tested at every point in time, especially now. It's a crucial time. Okay. So especially now, everything is being tested. There are many reading this right now who will remember on an energetic level the pain and deep sadness that was felt during the fall from grace. You may have been there and courageously experienced the clearing. Many of you are the light workers that chose to come back onto the 3D earth plane to assisting in shifting earth and humanity back into 5D. You have been on and with the 3D earth for thousands of years. Many of you went back to your collective consciousness within the 12D grid and chose to reincarnate in the last 100 years. And many of you have watched this entire clearing from off the earth plane and incarnated at this time to assist in the most miraculous shift in the collective consciousness. There are so many ways in which each of you experienced this moment in earth and humanity's history. We are not talking about months, okay? We are not talking about months, and we are not talking about few years also. We are talking about few decades, okay? A few decades and maybe 100, 200 years for everybody to shift into 5D. That's what I heard is the plan. Currently, you are shifting into higher states of consciousness and remembering what you went through on Earth, your role in this evolutionary process, and how deeply you love Earth and humanity. It is a gift that all of you have been journeying with the Earth for millions of years, and you are here with her right now. See, it's not a coincidence that many of you are here with us reading this book. If you are here reading this book, then obviously you have to know about your past, which is why you are here. Chapter 6, the design of the 3D Earth. It was around 15,000 linear years ago when we redesigned Earth into a 3D form. Although we had no idea Earth would be experiencing herself into 3D, we knew we could create a form that would allow her to shift back into 5D field and beyond. This new physical reality for Earth required us to ensure three important qualities with her redesign. Earth would be able to evolve back into 5D from this dense dimension. Earth as a consciousness would exist within the 3D physical form. The physical form could exist in a 3D field. So what is the meaning of this? The Earth would be able to evolve back into 5D field from this. So which means from 3D, they have put, they have designed it such that she could eventually evolve into 5D by constantly releasing her density. Earth as a consciousness, which is that HDC, could exist within the physical 3D form. So which means she also had to connect to a physical form. So we had to ensure that that connection also happens. And the physical form could exist in a 3D field. And the Earth itself, okay, the Earth itself had to vibrate at a 3D level. No? So they ensured all that also. For these three things to take place, we had to redesign her physical form and her energetic field, because the HDC is connecting through the energetic field only, right? That bag is what I told, the energetic field bag, where the earth is now connected to the physical. We also had to change the way all the consciousness on and off earth plane would interact and experience from the 3D field. So we began to redesign with a 5D grid around her form. So I told you that they created another boundary around her, which was not on the physical earth, but it was around the physical earth. They created this boundary so that people only from 5D could access her, 5D and beyond could access her. People from 5D and less than 5D could not access or get into that, because it's all energy, right? If you're vibrating at that energy, you'll be able to enter. So it's like that. The physical redesign. We began Earth's redesign with her physical form. Her redesign occurred in a single moment, just like her original 5D form was designed within a single moment. We took her 5D form and energetically shifted it down to 3D field. When we did this, the shape of the Earth slightly changed. Apparently, she was more in the 5D, it was disc-like elongated form, it seems. It was more elongated because they remember they said they had to find it to be easy to go into 6, 7 and all that. So they made it more elongated at that time. But now it became circular. Elongated form, circular, but stretched out, not round. As we shifted the form into lower frequency, it squeezed into a more circular shape. Okay, it became more spherical. The 3D plane was more round than oval. It also held a much more matter because it was holding lower frequencies within the denser dimensional field. The 5D Earth had a thin crust of matter around a crystalline center. It existed mostly of crystalline light. The 3D was much larger body of matter with Earth's consciousness within the body. It did not hold a crystalline center. It holds a magnetic core as of now. When we cleared the 5D Earth, almost everything was wiped off the planet, including all physical forms. We did keep most continents, all mountain ranges, and all oceans. In her redesigned form, we made 5 unique changes that had not been necessary when she was in the 5D form. We created a 5D grid. Okay, they created that grid around her. Okay, we designed a moon. We added more water on her form. We created 3D physical forms to hold the 5D consciousness. We created 3D physical forms to hold the 5D consciousness, which means the people or the HDC that was connecting now to the physical forms were all 5D consciousness HDCs, and we created more universal laws. Now, what is that 5D grid? I told you that boundary, right? When Earth was originally designed in the 5D, 5th dimension, she was held within one grid, the 12th dimension grid. Okay, it was all open, it was all free for all kind of thing, and they were choosing to come and all that. All HTCs volunteering on a physical plane were within the 12D grid. During the Earth's shift down into low frequencies, 4D races had been created. Although these races were not on the Earth plane, they were although these races were not on the Earth plane as we were redesigning a form, they were now within the 12D grid. They could access the Earth at any time. We had 4D races within the 12D grid that had played a role in shifting the Earth and humanity into lower frequencies. They now could enter back onto the Earth plane and perhaps play the same role again in shifting Earth and humanity into lower frequencies. So we had to ensure that they would not be able to participate on the 3D Earth plane. If we allowed the 4th dimensional races to access the planet, Earth's ability to shift back into 5D could and almost likely would be compromised. So we needed to create an energetic grid that would keep the 4D races from entering onto the Earth plane. As of now, they were only thinking about these 4D races when they created that plane, because they were only the ones who created a lot of havoc at the time. So as of now, that was the only approach that they took. because this is a very dynamic thing that was happening, and they had to respond based, or they had to react or respond, whatever. They had to respond based on the current reality. At that time, what was happening? They could not think really beyond whatever they were able to think at that time. Based on the current facts that they had, they were able to perform at that time. The grid had to be vibrating at a frequency higher than the 4D races. This is because any consciousness, including 4D races, can only access the dimensional field they are existing in. So if it was a 4D grid, then they could basically enter the grid because they were also vibrating in the same level. So if it was lower, or if it was, let's say, a 3D grid, then they could enter because they could access anything lower than them also. It is impossible for a consciousness to experience and move into higher dimensional field unless they are anchored into that dimensional field. So these 4D people, 4D races guys, had to evolve into 5D and then only come into the grid if they had to. We chose to create a 5D grid around the earth, knowing that 4D races could not penetrate or access the grid. The 4D races were anchored into the fourth dimension as a 4D consciousness. They were not 5D consciousness. They were not holding 5D consciousness. They could only anchor into 5D field if they chose to shift into a 5D field and no longer be 4D beings. So they had to stop being 4D beings and get a body, or they needed a body which is more crystalline in nature and all that. So obviously they could not, if they are not doing that, then they are not getting that. If they chose to no longer be 4D beings and shift into 5D consciousness, we wouldn't need to worry about the possible compromise they would have had on Earth's frequency, because 5D people are more aware. Anybody in 5D is more aware because the frequency helps them to think at that level. They are not in duality. They are not doing power play. They are not doing cunningness, meanness, and all that. They are not doing, right? So 5D will not allow you to do all that because it's a oneness. It's more love and those kinds of things. So they said we don't have to actually worry if they come to 5D, but until then we have to worry. Fifth dimensional consciousness is experienced very differently from 4D consciousness. We knew as long as we had 4D races in the 12D grid, the creation of a 5D grid would allow the Earth and humanity to evolve without the interference from the 4D races. We created the grid like we did everything else in this divine design through intent and energy. See, now people, if they are in 3D, they cannot actually manipulate this whole thing. So because they are now not aware of anything, right? So they are like more of zombies, right? They're just living without any awareness of what's going on, kind of thing. So, but 4D races are very smart because they have access to the big picture, but they will do they are wanting to do lower activities, lower frequency activities. So there's a lot of power that they have, right? It's like you know what's your power, but you'll choose to operate from a lower frequency. Okay, that is what is the thing about 4D. That is why it is more dangerous. So we intended the grid to hold the earth. We intended the grid to hold earth in a sovereign field and vibrate in 5D frequency. So, which is what is a 5D grid. We pulled earth from the 4D field. We were anchored into we pulled energy from the 12D field we were anchored into and shifted the energy into a 5D field. So that grid that they created, no? So that was basically, they took the 12D from anything, most of the things that they're creating, they're taking it from 12D and then lowering it into 5D, which is what they did here. And the grids instantaneously formed around the Earth's body. It is an energetic grid surrounding the Earth and not the Earth plane. Okay? So it is not physical. It is very energetic, right? All consciousness within the 12D grid energetically understood this intention and role the 5D grid played, including the 4D races. Even they understood that, oh, they want to keep us away. That is why they are doing this. Okay, let us watch. Okay, that is what they were also thinking. They knew they would not have access onto the Earth's plane unless we opened the grid. The 5D grid was significant design of the 3D Earth plane. It ensured that the Earth and humanity would have the ability to anchor back into 5D without the interference of any other consciousness. See, it's very important to understand that now people who are in the 3D have to now wake up by themselves. There is nobody, there is no help in terms of coming. How will they wake up by themselves? They have it's like the growth is now inside out. Okay, inside out means from inside that grid itself, from that state of unknown, state of unawareness and all that, we only have to continuously raise the frequency and continuously come to 5D. Okay, there is no way that people outside could actually interfere and maybe do something more, to do some magic kind of thing. There is no other magic anymore. You have to now grow your way to 5D. Now, why did the moon get created? In the past, we remember only sun was created. Moon was not there, right? Now, why did the moon get created? When Earth was designed in 5D, she held a balance of both masculine and feminine consciousness. These consciousnesses are vibrational signatures or tones experienced as what the humans call masculine or feminine energies. We do not speak of male or female, as the human designation of male or female is based on their anatomy. We are referring to two consciousness that exist as energy and are experienced as unique characteristics. I think they spoke about it, I think, in one of the things, right? Masculine was more aggressive, more energetic, more manly kind of characteristics. Female was more oneness, love, acceptance, that kind of energy. Only dimensional fields that holds form experience masculine and feminine energies. These fields are third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh dimensional fields. Beyond the seventh, the unique vibrational consciousnesses merges into one unified consciousness. Until then, they are still called masculine and feminine. From 5D, both are in balance. 5, 6, and 7, they are in balance. Okay, they are in balance like this, equal. But in 3 and 4, it is imbalance. Masculine will be less, feminine will be less, or something will be less and more. Because sometimes you will be more masculine oriented, doing power play, doing being bossy and those kinds of things, right? Being more aggressive and all that. So your masculines are very heavy. So if it's more feminine, they'll be there'll be different characteristics. So third and fourth is a imbalance. So if your feminine and masculine has to be balanced, if they come to balance, then you have to be vibrating in the 5D or more. Beyond the speed. So what may be important to point out as you read this section is that any consciousness that is in the 3rd to 7th may experience HTC existing in an 8th dimensional field or higher through the lens of being masculine or feminine. Okay, so it's like, yeah, basically there will be a separate masculine, separate feminine parts existing in that whatever experience. Meaning, if a 3D human interacts with a 9D consciousness that is a Pleiadian, they may experience that a Pleiadian as being male or female. They are feeling specific aspects of the Pleiadian energy field that feel similar to a feminine or a masculine energy. So which means depending on what they want to express themselves, they will basically look like that is what they are saying. If you want, I can read it again. Any consciousness that is in the 3rd to 7th field may experience HTCs existing in an 8th dimensional field or higher through the lens of being masculine or feminine. So what they are saying is, here, these HTCs are now connected. If let's say now the bodies are in 3rd to 7th. Now what will happen? Now if the HTCs are in an 8th field, then they will be experienced through the lens of being masculine and feminine, because from 8th there is one unified field, right? But those people who originally exist as one unified consciousness, if they lower themselves into these bodies, now they will see it as 2. Understood? That is the experience that they are coming here for. They are coming here for a lower experience, right? To see how that lower feels. For a person who's in the unified consciousness, when he comes down, right, he will feel that he will basically experience that through the lens of being masculine or feminine. Meaning, if a 3D human also interacts with a 9D consciousness, that is a Pleiadian, they may experience that a Pleiadian as being male or female. Also, yeah, reverse is also true. For example, if a person, if let's say I am in 3D or 4D, for example, let's say, now if I interact with somebody from 7, I will look at them and maybe see them as male or I will see them as female. Why? Because I have that inside me. Because I can't see I can't see them as one. Because I don't have the awareness or I don't have the experience of one unified consciousness. Okay. Like I don't have the experience of how both being in one person feels like. It's not about physical. Okay. They don't have any physical stuff. But even if they appear in that energy form, that energy only may feel like they are female. Like whatever, maybe some angels, like for example, they may look very ladylike, but they may be male. Who knows? So like that, it may be seen through the lens of what you are. Like the way when you see your when you are in 3D, everything around you will seem like your level of, which means it's your reality only, I told you. So even if the higher level people also you see, you will be seeing it from your lens only, right? So for example, let's say if I can look at an enlightened master and I can judge him because I am seeing it through my lens. But to somebody else, he may be very great. But when I look at him, I will see flaws in them. I will see that they are not, they are very biased, or they judge this kind of thing, or maybe let's say they are not vegan. So many things I might see and judge them, right? But other people might actually see a lot of what do you say, light, uh, higher dimensional aspects in them. Why? Because that is their reality and this is my reality. So I'm just saying that what you see is because of who you are, not because of what they are. Okay, like that. They are feeling specific aspects of the Pleiadian energy field that feel similar to a feminine or a masculine. So it depends on what they are vibrating, what they are giving out, and what you've taken. Then that is what you will feel. The 3D human perceives this Pleiadian to be a female because they are filtering the energies through their 3D lens. Feminine energies holds specific emotions, feelings, and ways about it. When the human feels the same energies in the Pleiadian, they associate it with the feminine energy. The Pleiadian is neither female or a male, but it is a unified field of many consciousnesses. They do not hold a dominant masculine or a feminine. Both energies are merged into one energy. Okay, so it depends from whichever dimension they are. If they are in higher dimensions, they don't have a separation. They are one, but for you it may feel like feminine energy. As consciousness shifts into 7th dimensional field or lower, there is a unique and separate vibrational experience of masculine and feminine for them also. These two consciousnesses split and they are experienced as two separate frequencies. Any HTC, including the human that is in the 5th to 7th, is balanced in these two consciousnesses. They hold these equally within them. That we heard. I mean, in one of the discussions in Shambhala, I think Deepthi had explained about this also. She had explained about the balance of both masculine and feminine energies inside her, and how that shift happened and all that, and how people get attracted to her, in the sense how, like for example, she says that when people get attracted to other people, it is because of their lack of that energy. For example, let's say I look at somebody with a beautiful dressing style, dressing sense, or some feminine aspects of them. It is because I lack that feminine energy within me. If I look at a person who's literally like macho and whatever, and he's displaying all male characteristics, dominance and this and that, and excelling in some field, something and all like those kinds of things, then it is because I need to balance my male energies, because there is some amount of imbalance of masculine and feminine within us, right? Because we are in the third and the fourth. So in our emotion, in our process of evolution, we'll have to constantly work on this balance. And the more we work on this balance over a period of time, right, we will eventually shift into 5D and then experience that as a balanced energy. Okay, that is what it is. She was actually also saying that when somebody had asked about Eve teasing and all of those things. So if in that balanced state, if a person is in that 5D balance, now let's say if masculine and feminine both are in balance. So now now she's a lady, right? She's a female body. Now but she's in balance. But if let's say some male figure is looking at her, he will be able to only sense motherly feelings towards her and not the other cheap feelings that people have towards ladies. Okay, that is what she was telling. That if a person is in balance, this is what they will emit. They will emit motherly feelings, and people, both male and feminine, will basically look at them more like a mother. Like that that balance will basically reflect as a motherly feeling towards other people. Any HTCs, including the human that is in the 4th or 3rd D, experiences an imbalance of the two consciousnesses. They will experience a pull or need to be in one or more than the other. They will identify and take on or express the qualities of one consciousness over the other. For example, we may take on a female body because we need to improve the feminine tendencies within us, feminine energies within us. We may take in a body of a female, so that will improve over let's say you will become a mother of a child, then the feminine energies will also slightly increase and all of that. No, you will have to increase it through experience only. You cannot just increase it just like that. No, so you'll take on some bodies just to get that into balance. Sometimes male bodies, sometimes female bodies, just so that over time it sort of balances out. They will experience a pull. Okay, since Earth and humanity began again in the 3rd dimensional field, they will be experiencing the imbalance of the masculine and feminine energies. So Earth also, see, Earth is also in the same boat, but Earth also has assistance. Earth will be having assistance, because even if she is not conscious about many of these things, there are moon is assisting her, sun is assisting her, then all the entire team is basically trying to watch her wherever there is imbalance. All that they are watching, and they are trying to create a balance. Since Earth and humanity began, so she will also experience the masculine and feminine imbalance. Humanity will have a choice as to which of the two consciousness they will more often experience. This choice will be unconscious. They will be merely choosing ways of beings that will either be in the masculine frequency or feminine frequency. Their reality will be dictated by consciousness. See, also you can think that if a person may have taken a female body, but she'll already be very male dominant kind of personality. So that can also be you may have seen certain very alpha kind of natures in ladies also, no? Very dominating kind of thing. All that is also possible. So it depends on their choice, apparently. If a humanity chooses to experience more of this masculine consciousness, their reality will be expressed through more masculine energies, such as repressed emotions over expressed emotions. So people who don't express emotions are more masculine in nature. People who express a lot of emotions are more feminine in nature. In our house, I think my last one is the only one who's more feminine predominant in our house, and most of us are all masculine predominant. Power, mind, and so repressed emotions, power, mind over heart or mind over energy, force over surrender, and so on. So many of these kinds of things. Earth and her balance of masculine and feminine will be impacted by the choice humanity makes as to which consciousness they will more often experience. She will not have the ability to balance out both the energies until the frequency within her form goes to 5D, because she is not going to become a male or a female and all that. No, she's just going to have one form, which is that earth body. So that has to continuously be done for her like that only. This is also the case for all humans. They will experience an imbalance of these two energies until their own physical forms comes to 5D. Only when they come to 5D, there will be a balance. The human will experience masculine consciousness more easily than the feminine, because feminine energy spins a bit faster. It is more challenging for the human to tap into consciousness and hold it in their body. The human body is in a lower frequency, and it is much easier to hold and access a slower masculine energy than a faster feminine energy. See, these feminine energies are very inclusive in nature, very oneness in nature, very love oriented, very chakra, pro chakra oriented, I can say, right? Chakra, healthy chakra kind of oriented. So which is why they spin at a faster rate. So it is for a 3D human to have faster, feminine tendencies, means that their body is already vibrating at a higher frequency, which is why they are operating at a feminine energy frequency. Okay, that is what it means, because masculine energy predominant people are having slower energy going through their body. Then their body is denser. Okay, that the energy in the body is denser. It also takes longer for masculine energy in the human form to shift into higher frequencies. Therefore, when a human holds more masculine than feminine, it will have a more difficult time in shifting into higher frequencies. So if a person is masculine predominant, then it is because there is mind which is already questioning all the time. There is a lot of logic. It's mind over energy, they said, right? So there's a lot of questioning going on. Why should I do this? How can I believe this? All of that is masculine predominance. So then it is difficult to shift into higher frequencies because of that masculine thing stopping them, because the energy rate the spin is slower than the feminine energies. We understood all of this, and we knew it would be very probable that the masculine energy would be more pronounced while in the 3D dimension. That is why you may have noticed that in the 3D field, we have been more patriarchal in nature, where male dominance has been very, very high across hundreds of years, right? Feminine dominance has been very less because of the energies. The dimension itself is more masculine predominant and not feminine predominant. And only now, because the energy of the earth is improving, is the overall collective energy slowly going towards feminine. And we have to move towards feminine by practicing all of these surrenders and acceptance and many of these things, and being more compassionate, more helping in nature, more gratitude. All of those things are feminine predominant energies. And we have to practice it consciously to improve the masculinity inside us. See, even masculinity, efficiency of doing a task and doing multitasking, all of that, even managing a house very efficiently is also masculine predominant only. It is not feminine. Feminine is more of, if she's with a child, she will just spend time with the child. She's just going to enjoy with the child, not worry about anything. That is feminine. Okay, it is more of, she's in some loka, right? She's just flowing like that. So all that is feminine energies. And in today's world, all that is still not. Rather, we are still not practicing many of those kinds of things. We understood that so it is a very predominant. So the human collective would most likely be unconsciously choosing masculine energies over feminine energies. This had to see whether we had female body or male body. We ourselves have chosen to oppress other females also in female bodies. You have known that across generations, even in female bodies, in the lineage, other females were basically not treated kindly. Correct? let's say even in the, let's say you go mother-in-laws or mothers or something like that, or maybe so like that, ladies themselves have had enmities, ladies themselves have had a rivalry, all of that, because everybody had a male predominant energies, masculine energy predominant. So they wanted to improve their feminine tendencies, but they could not, because it needed a lot of shift for that to happen. It needed a lot of inner work. Inner work is extremely important for your feminine energies to improve. This had the potential to create difficulty in earth and humanity shifting into higher frequencies. So we needed to create a physical form that could assist the earth with the imbalance of masculine and feminine energies while she was evolving. So what is that? This form would interact with the physical earth plane and humanity, allowing them to hold more feminine energies as they evolve. So we saw that the sun was basically also helping us in evolution, right? Through its energies and all that. Now moon is also going to balance it's going to pump a lot of feminine tendencies inside us. For example, for females, the menstrual cycle and all depends on the moon. Technically, all the dates have to align with the moon cycle. But over a period of time, because of lack of health and many of those kinds of health lifestyle issues, we don't align with the moon so much. But technically, it has to be aligned with the moon. This form would interact and then allowing everybody to evolve. We created what the humans call the moon for the purpose of energetically connecting the earth plane to feminine consciousness. The moon was created from a 9th dimensional council of light beings within our galactic federation. So from a 9th dimensional council of light beings within that federation, one of them volunteered to become moon. It was created the same way as other physical forms were created, through the intent and energy. The light beings within the 9D council intended the form and its purpose. So they put all that programming into that, and they wanted the moon to be similar in the shape of the 3D plane itself. Again, that was also round only. They held the intention of assisting and balancing the earth and humanity with feminine consciousness. They took these intentions and encoded them into 9D light codes and then shifted them down from that 9D frequency into 3D frequency in order to create the physical moon. Once the moon was created in the 3D field, we then asked for a HTC within the 12D grid to volunteer and enter the moon's physical form. We needed a consciousness to hold feminine energies within the moon's form to energetically connect with the earth and transmit this feminine energy onto the earth and humanity. Once we had the HTC enter the physical moon, we connected the moon to the earth plane through an energetic cord of light. See, even sun is created very closely connected to the moon. It is very close to the moon and it's very close to the earth, they say. Similarly, moon is also connected to the earth plane through an energetic cord of light, it seems. This cord of light allows a constant flow of feminine energy between the moon and the earth plane and humanity. The moon infuses feminine frequencies down onto the earth plane. That is why during a full moon, a new moon and all of that, moon's energies are very high, which is why they say that whatever are your tendencies, that tendency is going to increase. So there is always a choice that people make to go meditate, to do many of these sattvic activities, chanting and many of these kinds of things, so that they can increase those feminine tendencies during the moon's high energies. Again, the balancing of these two consciousnesses. The moon infuses feminine energy down onto the earth plane and all humans in order to balance out the masculine frequencies. Again, the balancing of these two consciousness is imperative in shifting into the 5D. The moon played and plays an important role in Earth's evolution. Water. Once we designed the moon, we then began to redesign aspects of Earth's physical form. We knew that her form was going to be in 3D and it was denser than 5D. She would be holding more matter than light. We needed to ensure that the density of her form would be able to shift into higher frequencies. We knew water was a conduit for energy. Okay, remember always that liquid I mean, we all know that. Let's say your body is wet and all, and you go touch electricity. What happens? You either way that we'll get electrocuted very, very quickly, right? So water is not. Water will basically transfer that energy very, very quickly. So even in our body, if the water balance is very high, if your body is well hydrated, then it is easy for cleansing to happen. It is easy for moving into higher consciousness and all that, because see, there is so much they have done to basically pump energy into us. Sun is doing, moon is doing, water is doing, everything is basically doing all these work, whether we do it or no. That is why evolution is constantly happening consistently. So at least we need, at least a choice that we can make is ensure that the body is light by taking lighter foods. And if we take more of heavier foods, grains and meat and dairy products, and many of these things are very dense energies. So see, I'm not calling food as bad. Okay, first of all, animals are not food, dairy is not food. But when you take plant-based food, there are denser foods which is going to take a longer time to digest. So it is not that the food is bad or something, but it is your choice. If you want those foods, then those are the consequences that you will also be facing, which is your body will be denser and it is very difficult for you to move to higher frequencies or experience higher frequencies. It assists high frequency light to move through the dense physical form more easily. Water is also a solvent that assists in breaking down density and alchemizing it into light. Okay, so that liquid medium that we have inside our body. Okay, we don't have H2O inside the body. Okay, we don't have H2O inside the body. It is all in a different form of water. For example, if you take blood, lymphatic fluids, and many of the cerebral fluids and all that, they are not H2O. They are other forms of liquid, H3O and all of that. So, but our water or our liquid, whatever liquid that we take, physical liquid that we take, that liquid gets converted to that liquid, and that light energy and all that is passing through that liquid. We knew if we added more water to Earth's physical form, she would be able to shift into 5D field more easily. Water would assist the Earth plane in not only anchoring into higher dimensional field, but in alchemizing the density of her form into light. So, which is why there is 2/3 of water on the planet. 75 to 80% is almost water on the planet. All the oceans and all of those things are almost water in the planet, right? So even we also mimic, this body also mimics Earth's body, because whatever was intended for Earth to happen, this physical body also same properties they have created. For her, whatever is necessary for her to go to 5D, same properties are there in this physical body also to go to 5D. But we may not be able to live on water. If we continuously drink only water, there is no nutrition in the water. So we will not be able to sustain this duality. So we need to have liquids that are more, that have nutrition in them and also water in them. And juices are one of the very, very high reasons why you need to drink juices on a daily basis, and juices, water, everything, tender coconuts, whatever. Ensure that your body is fully hydrated, at least 3 to 4 liters of water every single day. Water based fluids every single day you have to drink, right? You can have even soups, clear soups. Okay, I'm not talking about these dense where you're pureeing the vegetable and all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about liquid, literally liquid. It is transparent, that kind of liquid. Okay, that kind of liquid, wherever it is coming from, lemon water, whether it is coming from tender coconut water, whether it is coming from juices. See, juices are liquids that are available in the fruit, vegetables and greens, and all those liquids are there, right? So those liquids are nothing but they have the nutrition of the earth, they have the water of the water body, they have the heat from the sun, right? They have the air also that is circulating within that form. And then they also have space component within them. So juice is a very whole food. So every day have a lot of juices and ensure that you're not going to get depleted of nutrition when you drink juice. It is a whole food, which means it is a nutrition. It is like a meal, right? So the more you drink it, the better. That way your body also is now going to be well hydrated, and then you will be able to move into higher dimensions faster. See, in my experience, I did not know all these things, right? Water will conduct energy, all that I did not know at all. But in 2012, when I healed, and when I was completely dying and all of those things, at that time the only thing that came to me was this liquids. And when it came to me, it was more of vegetable broth. Okay, but then over time I have understood that vegetable broth, more than vegetable broth, natural fluids like juices only help the body. So for me, that knowledge came naturally, and I pass this knowledge on to my clients naturally. And I did not know any of this even until this divine design book. I did not know anything, but I was able to sense that as an experience, because the more I drank juice, the more my clients drank juice, their spiritual evolution, their spiritual consciousness was evolving very, very fast. I don't have to teach any spirituality to them. Okay, I did not have to teach anything to them. They were naturally becoming like that. Okay, they were naturally going on to that path of spirituality. I didn't have to teach anything. In many cases, when I was not aware of all that, where people were just generally on juices for physical healing, and I was not a spiritual counselor, emotional, mental. I was not a counselor at that time. They were naturally going on that path. I was naturally anyway on that path, majorly because of that. Because I have drank so much of liquid in the last many years. In the last decade, I've literally drank gallons and gallons of liquids. So because of that, I without any my physical wish to go into any path, I've been going into some path or the other. And mostly it has been evolution only. And I'm seeing a lot of growth within myself. And I saw that because of that only, we were all growing. It was a natural experience for me. And only after I read this, it came into confirmation that it was actually the case. Okay, so until then, even I did not know. I was only observing in that way. Because those were, it was, for me, I thought it was, body was flushing. So when the earth was like that, so we should also be like earth, we mimic earth. That was my original thing. But it was not like we are going to move into higher dimensional consciousness. But I was able to observe also that we are able to spiritually evolve faster with majorly having liquids in our diet. And when we have liquids in our diet, what happens? Our toxins flush faster, or faster means efficiently, and we are not imbalanced. When we have only water, what happens? The nutrition, body goes into a deficit. And when body goes into a deficit, it goes into more of that fasting mode. But we are not we should not be going into fasting mode unless we have extra cosmic energy that is balancing that deficit that we are creating. Yes, during a fasting, your body will heal. It is very much possible that your body will heal. You will experience some magic and all of that. But it is a very temporary phase. You will get back that problem on the body because your mind has not changed that pattern. So it's very important, whatever you do, fasting, eating, whatever you do, but you need to fix your root cause. Unless you fix your root cause, you're only focusing on the physical body cleansing. The generator of the toxin is going to constantly again put the toxin back in the same place. Why? Because you have not changed your pattern of thinking. Your belief system is still the same. Your emotion is still the same. So look at the big picture and work on increasing your juices and constantly working on your inner work. Okay. And we have discussed this in great detail in the Holistic Buddha course. So you can see the Holistic Buddha course and start to follow. You should trust yourself, right? If I can trust myself and walk alone on this path, you should also be able to trust yourself and walk alone on this path. Because I am not special. If I am ready to trust myself, you should also, when you're ready to trust yourself, you will get help. Right? You will get help. And help will come for those who seek and for those who are ready to walk on a path. If you choose fear, there is no help coming. Okay. Water would assist the earth plane in not only anchoring into higher dimensional fields, but in alchemizing the density of her form into light. Okay. So that is very important. This alchemization we saw, no? Alchemization means the first step we saw, alchemization, where sun is going to send that energy, and then the body's energy field is going to step it down, take it inside, and whatever lower energies that we have inside will either be sent off outside the body, or whatever lower energies that are there inside the body will be converted to that higher energy that is coming. Okay, both possibilities are there. So that is called alchemization. And this, who is helping in that? Water. Okay, so that is why it's important for you to increase, and even during these full moon and new moon and all that, it is very important if you're on liquid diet and all that, lots of juices and tender coconuts and all that really helps. Don't do water fasting so much unless your body is very what do you say is you may be having a habit of water fasting, but that is not important. You should be ready to basically allow the higher cosmic energy to flow. If you have that capacity, which means, let's say you're doing water fasting and whole day you're sitting in meditation, and you know that you are going to thoughtless state, and you are going to get cosmic energy, or you're basically going into single-minded focus, or you're going to be in the present moment, and then you're going to compensate that deficit through high cosmic energy, then do all kinds of fasting. Don't use your mind to strain the body, to what do you say, make the body do things that you think will work. There is so much in the system where the body is supposed to evolve by itself, and you are nowhere aware of any of these things. And how are you going to make your body work? You don't even know why the disease happened in the first place. How are you going to make the disease go away? All that you can do is allow the body to work in its own way. And if they're saying that, okay, liquids are going to help the body, drink liquids. And see, this information should help you assisting the body versus saying, I know how the body is going to heal, right? That is not going to work at all. We chose to add more oceans on her body. See, these oceans are also salt. They are not drinking water. Many of the water that we are there on the body are not drinking water. Only river waters are drinking water. The 5D Earth had 2 large bodies of water. The 3D has 5. We also added more lakes, created more rivers. We created a 3D Earth that was 2/3 water. This still had a significant impact on her ability. This still has a significant impact on her ability to shift into 5D. Okay, so we'll stop here, and then we'll do the redesign of the 3D forms tomorrow. Yeah, any questions? Yeah, Nidhi?
Hello, ma'am. Good evening. Ma'am, I'm yet to complete the day 19 and day 20 videos. I've completed half. I could complete half. I was listening to the videos. One of them was asking about throwing the pulp, or sorry, reusing the pulp, and then you said it's sort of a lack mentality. So, ma'am, just one question, ma'am. Like I used to do a lot of art and craft, and I used to reuse a lot of stuff, like old CDs, old bottles, and even even if my kids cut paper, so thin strips, loose strips, I keep it. So, ma'am, I don't know if I'm using it because of lack mentality, but I'm like, if it can be reused in some way, then why not to use it? So, ma'am,
No, I didn't intend from that angle, Nidhi. You are using that to basically become more creative. In fact, that is not at all what I mentioned. When we talk about pulp, you think that people think it's a wastage. Instead of throwing it in the dustbin, I'll throw it inside my body. Then I said that why do we don't want to throw it into the dustbin? Because you feel that it is a waste. I'd rather put it inside my body. In that angle, I told. Why do people what do you say, not wanting to throw it into the body? Or you can do composting, whatever, all that is definitely possible. But if you put it back into the body, the idea of juicing itself will go for a toss. Why did you juice? So that you can save the energy.
Understood.
You can definitely go ahead and reuse that to Mother Earth. But putting it back inside the body was not something that I intended.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah, and what
Okay.
you're doing is very creative. That is not at all my object of thing.
No, you mentioned a lack mentality. So I was just wondering that if I am also reusing all those things because of lack mentality. So I just
No, but
wanted to avoid it.
see, we have to see whether you want to be creative with that and that is why you want to reuse, or
Uh-huh.
आपके अंदर कुछ I don't want to throw it because no, I don't know. It's slightly difficult to explain that logic as to lack means I can't, I will not get more, or I don't
No,
have
that is
enough.
not the attitude.
So
Huh.
we only have to think, am I in lack mentality or am I in creative mentality? So creative is actually very positive.
Understood. And ma'am, one more thing, mostly I have turned vegan. I've stopped using leather. I've stopped using silk and all. But ma'am, I have old stuff like old bags or old clothes which are of silk or of leather. So ma'am, what should I do? Like I still use it. Like I think that since I had those stuff before I turned vegan or before if anyone turns vegan. So I think that it's no point throwing it away since animals have been used to make them. So better to use it, and once they are of no use, then uh, I should throw it away. So, ma'am, is this clear or what should be
There,
done, ma'am?
there are two views about it. Depends on whatever suits you, you can take. So one view is whatever you told, which is anyway, we already have it. And when we took it or when somebody gifted it to us, we didn't have that consciousness. And now what can we do with it? We can so that you can reuse. But then people who are spiritual and all, what they say is, if you wear those kinds of things, then what is the kind of rather you are not being completely honest with whatever you believe, kind of thing. In sense, energy wahan pe bhi impact hota hai types.
So, ma'am,
Like
is
you're
it okay
wearing,
to give? So, ma'am,
I mean,
is
these are some things that we have to question ourselves and see, no, I don't want to use it at all because my energy is more important. Energy in that sense. But then it depends all on your intention and all of those things, right? So think a lot more on this and then
I feel
maybe.
that since it's already the animal has already been harmed, so why to throw it away? And ma'am, is it okay to give it to someone who uses who is not that much?
I don't think there's anything right or wrong about it. You just
It's
have
a
to
way.
see whether आपको क्या अच्छा लगता है types, and then you just follow that. Tomorrow, if something else beyond this comes, then you'll anyway get that in your head, no?
Clarity.
You'll get that clarity. Then you'll be able to, now this feels right to you, stick to that. Tomorrow, maybe as you evolve, something else will feel right to you. You can do that. As of now, even I have kept. In fact, I
Are you using it, ma'am? Are you using it, ma'am?
Yeah, I do use it. I have lots of silk sarees. But after a certain point, I have not bought any silk sarees, which means
Same, ma'am.
I have not, even for my Griha Pravesham, I did not buy any silk sarees. And I don't buy leather and all that. Even my daughter in the US, she has taken my leather when I was in 2002, 2004 mein jo bhi mera leather jacket tha, she has taken it and she's using it for her snowy conditions and all that. But when she bought new jackets and new things, new boots and all that, she has taken fox leather only, FAUX, which is artificial thing. Vegan. She's taken vegan, but she already has what I had like long back, which is still good. So she has both. So in our case, we are not investing in non-vegan, but we already have a lot of, we are not investing in non-vegan. We have a lot of non-vegan as such. Like what you told.
And ma'am, one more thing, ma'am. Like in A Thousand Seeds of Joy, by Ananda Karunesh. Like I had read it long back ago. There it was mentioned that sun is normally associated with masculine energy and moon is associated with feminine energy. But that logic was given because the patriarchal society was patriarchal energy was rising. But originally, sun was feminine and moon was masculine. But because to show the power of masculine, or like to retain that patriarchal authority, they had, since because sun was more powerful, they associated sun with masculine energy and moon with feminine energy.
You mean to say belief systems also were like that, huh? No, people
Huh.
prayed to moon energy because it was more masculine, you're saying.
No, in Thousand Seeds of Joy, I don't exactly remember, but more or less it was ki sun, like normally we say na ki sun kitna, Suraj is so powerful, sun is so strong. It is normally associated with masculinity, whereas moon it's calm, it's sort of, so it is basically associated with feminine.
Actually, sun. See, it was prayed for that reason only. Patriarchal society prayed to the moon or believed the moon to be the source kind of thing. That is why they believed that to be superior and they prayed to the sun. But if you remember in the 5D, there was nothing concept of sun being the masculine or anything. It was more,
There was no
more
moon
for
earlier.
balance of the thing. People believed that sun is like that. Because moon was only reflecting sun's light.
Energy, light.
So it was more of a weakling kind of thing for them. That's why they did not really pray to the moon or something like that.
So that is why,
it was more of the patriarchal. See, if you see here, 3D energies were more masculine predominant. That is why we were patriarchal at that time. It was naturally 3D energies are heavy. And we just now read that in 3D, masculinity is far more powerful because the masculine energy is slow vibrating compared to feminine. So because everybody, whether female, male, all of them will be predominantly masculine. Predominantly. Even in female bodies also, they will choose to show masculinity, masculine tendencies. Like people will be, ladies also might be warriors. They will be trying to protect their thing, protect their this, protect their that. All of that is very high. Gentle nahi honge. Gentleness is very less. And because it was needed that people need to be so aggressive to protect themselves, to live in this kind of an environment. See, even Draupadi for that matter, she was also very masculine for that matter. She used to be very dominant and things like that, although she was a lady. So most of them, even Kunti, even though she was a lady, she was also very powerful, very masculine oriented. Most of the ladies were very aggressive, very brave, those kinds of things. So in that, the energy will make them behave like that. But they will try to go to female body just to balance, just to experience feminine energies. Being a mother, being that kind of thing, giving birth and all of that. Because somewhere they'll have to balance the masculine and the feminine, no? So they'll take a female body to balance it. But still habits are still masculine predominant.
Thank you.
Bindu, you got it? Anybody, any other questions? Yeah, Bindu.
It comes in the Earth's timeline shift. See, it says the timelines are based on the frequencies of the human or the human collective and are designed to shift if and when the frequency of the human or the human collective shifts. All timelines impact the Earth plane and Earth herself. See, here it is like human or human collective. That is what? It is single human and human collective.
Yeah.
See, at this point in humanity's history, most of the human collective was holding 3D frequency. Their timelines are reflecting these frequency. If the human collective would shift their frequency up or down, the timeline would inevitably shift. So this all comes under a human collective. Right? It is not
like this predominantly now.
Here, It is human or human collective.
Human
these
means only
two-
you.
Huh.
Only you. You have
Okay.
one particular frequency. You're vibrating at one frequency.
Hmm.
But you, many people put together, there will be a predominantly higher frequency. Predominantly some average
Some frequency will be there.
Some frequency will be there, no? Together, when all the energies come together, whatever is that bulk. So that will get contributed at the earth level.
And then next line is, however, there were millions of humans experiencing 3D frequency and creating a collective timeline. So why are they saying, see, when they are saying human or human collective, it depends what frequency will happen, human. Again, in the next paragraph, they are saying a collective, millions of humans.
In this book,
so that comes
many things,
as...
No, in this book, many things, if you see, many paragraphs, if you see, they have again and again given more and more clarity for the previous sentence also. Again, all the time.
Okay. So it
millions
is the same.
Of humans
the human
means again collective
millions
only.
Of humans are also the same.
Huh.
It is not different.
So it is not like only one group. They are saying predominantly millions of people who came down were still experiencing 3D frequencies. So the whole timeline was based on that dependency was that only.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Sangeeta? Thank you. Yes, Sangeeta?
Yeah. I wanted to ask, so the gods that we have, like Shiva, Vishnu, are they also HDCs of higher dimension?
See, many of
Shiv, we say it's Ardhanarishwar. Then could it be that he's of a dimension?
See, many of these people are HDCs only, but they have gone beyond this, beyond the cycle of birth and death. So they have gone beyond that cycle. So which is why they come here in the form of avatars. And any person who goes to that level, who evolves to that level, eventually can come here, can create an Amshatma of their own. And then a portion of them can actually come here and operate. So they can come as avatars. So Ardhanarishwar and all that, because they are already in that high level, they are now in one unified consciousness.
They have reached the source.
No, not yet. I don't know whether they have reached the source or something, but then they are at a level where they are one.
Yeah.
One unified consciousness. There is no male,
so
there is no
above seventh dimension, they have merged. So they are somewhere above.
No, they have not merged. Source is very high. Source, I mean, if you say that
merged means that masculine and feminine energy is merged.
Yes.
So they are somewhere above seventh dimension, or somewhere above eighth dimension.
Yeah.
But because we are seeing from 3D human eye, we see them as masculine or feminine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another thing, wasn't there a fear of that 3D races can also be created?
Maybe there is. I forgot whether there was in the future chapters about any talk about 3D races. I don't remember. I'll have to take a look.
So at one time they said, had there been an additional universal law that dimension 1, 2, 3 are excluded from the experiment, then this would have been a safer experiment. Now that they are redesigning, why don't they try to exclude dimension 1 and dimension 2, just in case there is a chance to go further down?
In 2 and 3, there is no physical body. In 2 and 1, there is no physical body. 1 and 2,
there is no physical body.
No, there are other lower forms of germs and all of those things.
Okay. So idea of creating 5D grid is that once humans and Earth have evolved to 5D, then there is no fear of 4D races, even if they enter Earth, because then they would have 5D characteristics of oneness and all.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, then I've understood.
So first of all, you need to have those people. The people have to be evolved to 5D themselves. Then nobody can actually tamper with them. Until you are in that, you can actually get tampered, because you yourself are in that state of confusion.
Okay. Yeah.
So they want people to go to 5Ds. See, 4D races are still there. But are you in a position to get tampered or no? There will come in this book, there will come a time when they'll explain a lot of such tampering going on. Because over a period of time, 4D entered the planet. They could not stop them. And lots of tampering has
in
happened.
one of the sentence, they said 4D races can access Earth at any time.
Yes, because they will not. No, they said that they will not be able to enter at least for the next many hundreds of years or thousands of years, or something like that they mentioned. But that happened. No, that eventually happened. And then they took some other step to handle that. But that people were again tampered with and all that at that time. So if we should not get tampered by things that we are seeing in the media, how do we get all these kinds of fears and other things? If we originally have fear within us, then we will definitely have experiences and influences from outside, which will basically enhance that fear within us. And people will, rather, if there are entities who are banking on that, they will grab this opportunity and make sure that we will go to that state. Because if we are continuing to operate in whatever lower frequency we are in the duality, then we will never be able to wake up, right? So we can be used for many things. If, let's say, you have to create a nuclear bomb and all of that, 4D races can use such people who are sleeping. And through them, they can operate many of these things, power. Yeah. It's possible because we have no awareness of what is happening. No, we think if it is made to believe that everything is real, everything is right, and you get a lot of reasons to believe it is the right thing to do, then you will do it. Unless you have that knowledge within yourself that this is not the 5D level kind of thing. This is not oneness. This is more of destruction or whatever. We need to have that original thinking. Until then, we will definitely fall. Because we'll have logical proof to believe that we have to do that. I'm not talking about killing and all that. I'm talking about destructions and tampering with others and interfering with others' lives in many different ways. Many things. Cheating. I don't know. I can't really say very clearly. So, like that.
Now I'm seeing 4D races as minions.
Minions?
Minions.
Why
like
minions?
Someone... So there is a villain who has created all these minions, and they are like robotic beings.
Yeah, and then they came to, what's his name? I forgot his name. Groove. They came to Groove after that.
Yeah.
Hopefully they all get a Groove over a period of time. I don't know about that, but see, that is why they say, no, in duality, there are a lot of influences. Why there is so much of effort to wake up people? Because you can't get out of the system unless you want to get out of the system. Unless you put that effort to get out of the system, because there is so much of distraction here to keep you in the system, to use you in the system. Because there is, in duality, you'll just be kicked from this side to that side to this side. And it's a lot of time pass.
And energy pass. A lot of... will use up all our energy.
Will just go from this side to this side, this side to this side. You don't like the negative energy, but it will actually get imbalanced at some point. But somebody else who knows, who's aware about all this happening, but still has fun, is going to enjoy. See, here they don't, see, here they are also treated like consciousnesses only, and they are also having free will and all that. But then, unfortunately, their intentions, the reasons of their intentions were very different. The creation of their intent, the intended creation of them was very different. So they'll behave like that only. That is also a part of creation only, which God expresses himself as. So, but we should see, okay, what do I want? What do I want to choose? So we'll have to choose. That is why this whole thing about pushing people all the time, whether it is in this story, that story, Mahabharat, Ramayana and Ramcharitmanas and this and that and Jesus, and everybody is coming only to wake up people. Because with, like, even though avatars have come, people will wake up and they'll go back to the same state. So there has to be an inner consciousness to basically continue to follow that path. That is the whole thing all about. We need to be that internally driven. Again and again and again, wake up with every disturbance. Keep realigning, shake yourself, realign, and keep going on that path. And this will not end until we die. Imagine how much
And that
strength
too, we
need
can
to
do
have.
that realignation only if we are in a good state where basics are taken care of, where there is food,
And we should
shelter,
be very
those things.
thankful that basics are taken care of for us. That's why we are able to
Yeah.
think about all these things. Who will,
Right.
I mean, which person who's constructing and all is thinking about divine design? Tell me.
Right.
Vivekananda told, right? People don't teach people meditation and all that unless their basics are covered. You can't. That's my daughter was telling, she was talking about Akshay Kalpa, there was some talk or something, and she said, she had fallen down, she had broken her leg and got a fracture and all that, and then she was saying, oh, and there was a huge bill, in the US there is a huge bill, So she was saying, oh my God, I saw that video and their campaign and all that, and those people were not even having food, and I'm here falling and paying money making my parents pay for this hospitalization and all of those things. So she felt very entitled about all of that. So she had really a lot of. So I said, see, maybe what you have to do in this world is more different from fighting over or working over basics. Your basics are covered just so that you can think beyond basics and then contribute at that level. So all that we can do is be grateful.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Sangeeta.
And also that someone has already gone through this journey, collected all the information in forms of books or videos or such things.
Absolutely. See, now
and they are
so
influenced enough to teach us. So it's a very lucky situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Seriously.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there are no other questions, then we can wrap up the call. Thank you very much. Thank you, Anita, for this Zoom call. Thank you, all of you, for coming to this class, asking healthy questions, mind-boggling questions. Even I'm learning a lot from this. Thank you very much. Stay blessed. Bye. Thank you for people who are joining on YouTube also and watching the recordings and participating in this. Thank you.